Welcome to the testing world. So in this session, we are going to cover string handling in Groovy. So as of now, I have a project, a Groovy project. Inside the Groovy project, that is SRC. I'm going to create a new file and giving the name of the file is testing, but extension must always be Groovy. So I have created a new file which is testing.groovy. So first of all, we need to understand what do you mean by string. So string is a sequence of characters. In Java or in Groovy, string is a class. So means whenever we are defining a string, like I'm defining def s is equal to hello. So if we talk about what is string, so a string is a sequence of characters which is placed in double quotes. But if we talk about the Groovy as a programming language, so in programming language, a string is a class in Groovy. So that's a class, we are creating the object of that class. So if you want to write in the object format, then you can write like def s is equal to new string and we can pass hello 1. So here we can see we have two different ways to define the string. One is in the form of object, like we are creating the object of the class string. So that is the object s1 and we have created the s1 object of the class string. Because string is a class in Java, so we can create the object of that class. And we are passing this value to the constructor of the class. So that's the one way of defining a string, but string is a special type of class in Groovy. So if we are writing def s, ultimately we are creating the object of the class and the equal to value, this value is passed to the constructor of the class. So that's a very technical question, and it asks in many interviews as well that what is a string in Groovy or Java. In Groovy or Java, string is a class and we are creating object of that class. So that's the string. Now if string is a class and we are creating the object of the class, so we can call method of the string class by using this object. Because if we have a class with the name string and we are creating the object of that class, so means the class will have lot of methods as well. And can we call the methods by using this string object? Yes, we can. So first of all, I'm going to show you the first method that we can call is object dot length. So with the help of the length method, we can find out the length of the string. So the string which is passed to the constructor of the class, all the operations which we are going to perform will be performed on this data. So first operation that we are performing is to find out the length. Whatever the length which is coming, I'm storing into the L and then print ln L. So first method we have called is length. Running it, and here we see it shows the length of the string is 5. So the first method was length. Now we can call many other methods as well. So the next method that we are going to use, I am commenting this line, and next method, like if I am having some spaces in that string, now if I try to find the length, so print ln as dot length, so it should display 9 this time, because 5 plus 2 or 3 spaces will, whenever we are displaying the length, it will count everything inside the double quotes. So in this case it display 10 because we have 3 spaces at the end and 2 spaces at the start. So length function or length method is going to find out the complete length between double quotes. If you want to find out length after removing spaces, so to remove the space we can use print ln s dot trim. Trim method is used to remove leading and trailing spaces, means it's going to remove starting and end spaces. If we have a string like spaces and then I want to find out the length, so here I'm calling more than one method. First I'm calling trim. Trim will remove all the spaces from the string, and then we are calling length method. So in result we should get like 10 before removing the spaces and 5 is the length after removing spaces. To display in length of original string, that is this, and length after trimming space, that is this. So running it again, and that is 10 and 5. Even we can give some spaces over here, and now we check, so it will be a proper formatted text at the end. So length of the original string is 10, but after trimming space, that is 5. So we have seen we can trim the spaces by using trim method. Trim is going to remove only starting and trailing spaces, means if I have the string like this and few spaces we are having in between, so trim method remove the spaces from the start and end only. It's not going to remove the spaces from the in between the string. So if I run this, here it shows the total length is 23 and after trimming 19, because it is removing two spaces from the start and two spaces from the end. So after removing the space, it's 19. So with the help of the trim method, we can only remove spaces from the start and end. So we have seen two methods, one is length and other is trim. One more important thing that we need to understand, like we can call more than one method in a same line. Like first I'm calling trim, then whatever the result we are getting, apply length on that. So can we call first length and then trim? So answer is no. Why we cannot do this? I'm going to show you. So can we use that kind of approach? Answer is no, because order in which all these methods are placed, the execution order will be same. So it's going to execute length first. So whenever we are calling length, it's going to return integer value. Integer means numeric value. So we cannot trim numeric value. That's why we cannot call length and then trim. But when we are calling trim and then length, means first we are removing the space. After removing space, still we are having a string. On that string, we are calling length. So that's the reason we are calling trim and then length. Right. So we are moving to the next method. As of now, we have covered length and trim. I am moving to the next method. Here we can convert string into uppercase and lowercase. So to convert a string into uppercase, we can use s dot to uppercase. S dot to lowercase. So with the help of the uppercase method, we can convert the string into the uppercase format, and with the lowercase method, we can convert string into the lowercase format. I'm running it, and here we see that's the length without removing spaces, then after removing spaces, then uppercase and then lowercase. So we have covered around four functions: trim, length, uppercase and lowercase. But more important thing that we need to understand, like if I am writing this function, normally what we do, we are writing like two upper control space, it's going to show you a list and we can select the method from here. But if you want to write the code by yourself, so method name is always in a camel casing. Camel casing means if we have only one word, like we have only length, so that should be in a small, that must be in the small. But if we have a method name with more than one word, so first word will be small, like two. Then all the words, second, third, fourth, all the word must be started with the capital letter. So two upper case. So we here we can see U is capital in the upper and C is capital in the case. So that's the syntax. That syntax is supported by the Java and Groovy, and all the method which are predefined. Predefined means which we are getting inside the Groovy and Java, that is supporting this syntax. So whenever we are writing, we can follow the name. And it's a case sensitive language, means if you are writing in that way, it's not going to work. We can try to execute this. And here it shows it's two uppercase. It's not a way that you have written. So we can change it to two upper case. Now I'm running it, and here we see we are getting a result. Again, I want to tell you, if you want to call more than one method, you can use all the method in a single line as well. Moving to the next method, which is replace. So with the help of the replace method, we can replace a character or string or the part of the string. Like as of now, my string is hello testing word. I'm removing these spaces, and on the place of the hello, I want to print hi. So in that case, I want to replace hello with hi. So print ln s dot replace, and what you want to replace. So I want to replace hello, and the new value that I want to place on the place of the hello, that is hi. I'm running it, and at the end we should get result like hi testing word. So here we have seen we have updated, we have replaced hello with the hi. With the help of the replace, we can replace a part of the string. So we have replaced hello. If you want to replace any character, that can be done as well. So like I want to replace, I'm copying this, and on the place of small s, I want to display dollar. So here we are replacing a character. One more important thing we need to understand, like if we are replacing part of the string, means group of characters, we are writing in a double quotes. But if we are replacing a single character, we can write in a single quotes. Running it, and here we see on the place of the small s, it is giving dollar. So length, trim, uppercase, lowercase, replace. So moving to next method, which is concatenation. Concatenation means we want to combine two or more string. So now I'm taking a string that is hello, and I'm taking one more string that is word, and I want to concatenate these two strings, means I want to join these two strings. For that we can use println s dot concat s1. So here we see we are concatenating to a string, and at the result we should get hello world. But Like while concatenation, I want to place space in between. So again, we can follow the approach like s dot concat. So first I'm concatenating s with space. So I have concatenated s with space, and then I'm concatenating again, and here I'm passing s1. So what I'm doing, first the s will concatenate with the space, and whatever the result like hello space, we are concatenate with s1, which is word. Now I'm running it, and we are going to get hello space word. We can directly use concat method to concatenate two strings, but in Groovy we also get the support of plus operator. So if we write plus operator, again the use of the plus operator is to concatenation. When we are using plus operator with the strings, it's going to use for concatenation. So if I ran this, again it's a hello word. And the same way, if you want to bring space in between, then first I am concatenating s with the space, and then s1. So that's hello space word. So that's the method, that's the ways we can concatenate two or more string. Moving to next part. So here I'm coming to caret. To find character at specific position. So if you want to find out the character at any specific position, like I have a string hello testing, and string characters also has indexing. So that's a 0 index, 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I want to find out character at any specific index, like I want to find out the value of the 4 of the index 4, we can use caret. So println, I'm just using println to printing on the console. So whatever the result, we are printing on the console. S dot caret, and we are passing 4. So on the fourth index we have O. I'm running it and going to see the results at display O. So with the help of the caret, we can find out character at any specific position. So next, moving to substring to find out part of the string. Like I don't want to bring complete string, I want to find out the part of the string. In that case, we can use the concept of substring. So print ln, and again here we need to pass indexes. So substring, that's a starting index. So I'm saying I want from the index 3 and last index. So if I want to bring the value from index 3 to index 7, so here we need to pass one more value, like we have to pass 8. That's the requirement of the basic method. They have created the method, and we have to give and index plus one value. So we have given 3 to 8. So it should be started from the 3. So 0, 1, 2, 3. So it should start it from 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it should display value till E. Even we pass 8, but whatever the last value, it's going to display value last value minus 1. And I'm going to run it. So here it shows till E. Third, fourth, 5, 6, 7 index. So whatever the last index you want to get, you should pass value last index plus 1. So we have covered many methods like trim, length, uppercase, lowercase, replace, concatenation, and then we are finding at the character at a specific position, then we are returning string. I'm removing all these methods and coming to few more methods which are very important to work on. So now we are going to few more methods which are very important to work on. So that is S is the hello and S1 hello. So one is started with the capital letter and other with the small letter. So now I'm going to use few methods which are used for the comparing to a string. For comparing to a string, we are going to use method which is equals. So I'm using if S equals S1, then print strings are equal. Else I'm going to print string are not equal. Running this in that case, because one is in the capital and other is the small, that is string are not equal. But if you want to compare to a string without comparing case, then we can use equals ignore case. So if you want to compare exactly with case, then we can call equals method. And if you want to use without casing, means if you want to ignore case, then we can use the method equals ignore case. Now I'm running it and it's going to return strings are equal. This equals or equals ignore case method return true or false, means if the two strings are equal, it will be true. If it's true, then it's executing if it's false, then executing this, like print ln. And I want to show you what's the result of this method. So like this, running it again, and here it shows true because strings are equal after ignoring case. But if I used only equal, it's going to return false, means strings are not same. So to compare two strings, we have very basic methods, either equals or equals ignore case. To compare a string, we have two more method. One is compare to. So I am going to use compare to S1. So what's the difference between the equals and compare to? Equals will return either true or false, but compare to return 0 if the two strings are equal and a non-zero value if the strings are not equal. So I'm comparing with the 0. If the result of this comparison is 0, means strings are equal, else strings are not equal. Running it, and here it shows not equal. In the same way as we are doing equals, because these two strings are different, if I take this and now running it, then result will be 0 and it will display strings are equal. Same way like we have compare to, we have one more method, compare to ignore case. Again, compare to ignore case is going to ignore the casing. Now we are comparing two strings with the different casings, like we can mention it in a complete capital and it's in a complete small, but we are ignoring the casing. So if we are ignore the cases, then compare, then again the value will be 0 and strings will be equal. So that is the four methods we have gone through. By that we have compared strings are equal or not, and these methods are frequently used while working because in many cases we have to compare actual result with the expected result, and in most of the cases we are going to get expected result in form of a string. So we have to compare two strings, and these are the methods which will be used in that case. whenever we want to compare two strings, we have used like equals equals ignore case or compare to ignore case. But now I want to match a part of the string, like my string is hello testing word, and I want to check in this string, do we have testing anywhere in the string? So in that case we can use contains, s dot contains, and I'm passing like testing. Again it's going to return true or false. We can check it over here like print ln, and do we have testing over there or not. So it should return either true or false. So here we have true. And if we pass like, do we have my testing in this string, so in that case it's not going to get any value, it's not going to match the value, then it should show false. In that case, running it again, showing false. And if we use it in a proper way, so like again I'm using if else, like if s dot contains my testing, then return value 2, and in that case display yes, we have that string. And else if not, then we don't have that string. Right, running it, and we have that string. But like this, now what should be the answer? Because it's going to compare with case, so it's going to return we don't have that string. Even we have the testing, but that started with that capital T and we are comparing with the small t. Then how to handle that kind of situations? So what we can do, first we can convert our string to the lower case. So I'm going for two lowercase. First I'm going to two lowercase and then I'm comparing. So in by this way we can, first we are converting that complete string to the lowercase and then we are comparing. So in that case it should be matched and we should get yes, we have that string. So now we have a lot of methods to work on, and how we can use these method by grouping together, that's up to us. So what I have done, I have converted that string into the lowercase and then I'm checking contains testing. So we have covered almost all important methods that we can use while working with a string. And one more item that is pending is split method. So I'm going to use a method which is split. And here, what is the splitter? So how do you want to split? So split means we are breaking that string. And what is the parameter to break? So I'm saying wherever you are getting space, break according to it. Break on the behalf of this space. So whenever it's going to break, the first value will be hello, rest of the value will be this. Again it's going to check, do we have a space? Yes, we have second space, so it will return this second value and that last value. So we are going to get a group of values. So I'm storing these values to s1, and I hope you can understand that this s1 is not a variable now, it's a array of it's a array. It's not a single variable, it's a array, because it's going to hold many of the values. And if you want to fetch all the values of this array, so first I want to know the length of the array. So I'm going to the length like def l s1 dot length. So first we have find out the length of the array, which is stored in L. And if you want to check, I can display the length of the array. Running it, it shows length is 3, means we have 3 items in the array. And now I want to fetch all the values, so I'm running a loop. Def I is equal to 0, I is less than L, I plus plus. So I'm running a loop. We have already covered loop in the previous sessions. So I'm running a loop starting with a 0 and it's going to less than length. Less than length means if we have the length 3, so indexing will be 0 to 2. So length is 3, but we need to run loop from 0 to 2. That's why I used less than length, means less than 3 means 2. And to fetch the value, I'm using S1 and then I. We are fetching the value from the array with the index I. So every time index will increase and we'll get all the values. Running it, and here we can see first it shows hello, then testing, that word, all the things displayed on a single line. Because we used print, we can use print ln, means change the line. And now running it, so first value was hello, then testing, and then word. So that's all we have covered for string. We have covered a lot of methods which we can use while working with a string, like length, caret, concatenation, compare to ignore case, equals ignore case, split. So we have covered many methods, and these are the all commonly used methods which we are going to use while creating test cases. We can use in automation tool. So that's all we have for the string. Thanks for watching this video.